Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to the Meta-Two NXT AfterShow, where we're going to get into it with all the, sorry, I don't know why somebody's supposed to off on here, but okay. But we're going to get into it with what's been going on for NXT today. What were your thoughts for this week?
Yeah, I thought it was a fun show. I think that they wanted to make sure it was hyped as possible. Obviously they're going into next week, and that's going to be big with, Jordan Grace, doing her open challenge. That's really cool. I'm really excited to see who answers the challenge, because that's going to be that's going to be fun. That's a guaranteed really good match. Like, come on. And just like, I feel like tonight they were like kind of giving us like that, what is it when they say like a taste tester? They're like, hey, let's get you guys hyped up because next week's gonna be something. And tonight was fun. It was fun. It was some fun matches for sure. What did you think?
Yeah, no, definitely fun. Good energy from Sunday, which is good. Not necessarily good, you know what I mean? Like as far as a good upbeat type of situation for NXT this time. So let's kick it off with we're basically a month out, I believe, to we get NXT on the CW. So this starts off with Trick Williams kind of calling out Pete Dunne. And he said some stuff, and I guess understandable considering how Sunday kind of ended. So I guess it made sense. But instead, Ethan Page would arrive and instead mocked him. And they kind of exchanged some words, and then eventually Pete Dunne would arrive to basically start brawling with Trick Williams. And so I was like, all right. Which wound up, the brawl between them wound up continuing backstage, which was like, I guess, a lot happening. There was also like immediately, like basically after the segment, it was the number one contender triple threat tag team matchup, which had Hank and Tank, Gallus, and the Rascals. And so this was pretty decent as well. Even before the match started, there was a bit of a fight, or almost a fight rather, between Gallus and Hank and Tank. There was a move where Hank and Tank basically did like a side-by-side slam to the Rascals, and then they were able to get Gallus down with like a double avalanche, I believe it's called. Javon Evans also attacked Joe Coffey outside to stop any interference with, a lot of stuff going on in this. But I thought this was really, really like a fun match in regards to just like really good energy. And I think mostly this is because of the Rascals. And I know you have your thoughts about Hank and Tank, but I thought they really did their thing in this matchup. I was pleasantly surprised by what they did in this. So that was pretty cool. With that being said, however, the Rascals would win to become the number one contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And so I think this is going to definitely be an exciting matchup between them and Nathan Frazier and Axiom. And I think it's going to be fun. I do think, however, because we still have this thing with Wesley, that it's not going to be, I don't think they're going to win just because they do still have that happening. I'll be surprised, honestly, but I'll be surprised. And then right after backstage, the Rascals basically found Nathan and Axiom and said that the titles would change hands. And I'm like, see, that's the problem right there. You're getting too big for your britches. Calm that down, relax. What thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, no, this was fun. I do have to agree. I'm not gonna give them a 10 because they can never get a 10 from me. But you know what, Hank and Tank, you could definitely get a 9 from me. You guys definitely held your own. You definitely did. I'm not gonna take that from you. But I'm glad that the Rascals won. Even though I really thought that Wes would get involved, but I guess he's doing the maniacal thing of letting them have some type of hope and then destroying it. You know, if he would just stop it now, there wouldn't even be hope. They'd just be done. Let them get the hope and then destroy it. I see what you're doing, Wes. You are so smart, man. You are so smart. Gallus likes to be in everybody's business. Like, they're the messiest in all of NXT because they're in everyone's business and they want to fight everybody. And I love them for that. We need messy people. We need them. They keep the world and the locker room going round. And in terms of Trick, you had to know he was going to come and fight you after that diss track. I know you didn't think he was not going to try to thump with you at every moment after that diss track. You couldn't possibly. And Ethan's right. You should not be stealing his opening up NXT moment. You didn't win in the main event, did you? No, it was Ethan. So next time, you can wait. Let Ethan get his shine, and then you come out. That's how it works. But other than that, I did enjoy that match, though.
Yeah. Hey there. Sorry, my eyes are itching. Yeah, no, I understand. I know you don't particularly like. I know you didn't particularly like, sort of like Cake Tank, but I was pleasantly surprised. I thought they did well. Uh, so we'll see. I mean, I just feel like there's no need for Nathan and Axiom to win it because we didn't need that in that case. You might as well have them lose uh on Sunday and then have the Rascals beat, you know, Chase Shield. So like I don't particularly like the title change that quick in a situation with tag titles when it's already kind of a weird thing with the tag teams, personally. But yeah, he might have been. So this was the next matchup was Aura Mensa, who was accompanied by Meta-Four, versus Alexis King. And so this wasn't bad. I was like, all right, okay, cool. There was a moment where Lexus kind of knocked Oro off the top, Mensa off the top rope, and kind of got like an advantage in this. I felt like for a good chunk of this, Oro Mensa had the upper hand. I felt like Lexus seemed to have struggled a bit with the level of, I guess, striking Oro was doing, and then there was some speed, some quickness. And I can understand because, there was some stuff said about Oro Mensa's dad, and so I can understand wanting to, you know, I can understand, rather why things go the way it was, but it was solid stuff. I'm not really sure where this is gonna go, and I don't think it's over necessarily. And so we shall see how this play out. But I do think that this wasn't done. But I'm also feel like I'm also at the place where it's like, was this a match we needed? I am not sure. I feel like this is just they just threw this thing together, so I have no idea. But Lexus King would basically stack him, like, he would win with his feet on the ropes. So he won it, just not, I guess, not in the way it should have been, I guess. And then after that, Lexus King did run backstage, and Oro chased him, but it wasn't like a terrible match stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of just like, oh, okay, a match. It wasn't really anything too like crazy good or crazy bad about it. It was just kind of like a standard match. I get the intensity of it because, you know, when you start talking about fathers and relatives, it gets very sticky. So, you know, and I think Oro has just been dealing with a lot, especially after the whole Ethan stuff. I think that he's been super rattled. And then even on top of that, just like, you know, the loss of Noam, not forever, but like, you know, currently, you know, right now they're down a man. And I just think he's frazzled for so many reasons. And I just think he's a little bit unhinged because of it. Like we've seen a different side to Oro. Oro is snapping quicker than usual. He's just, you know, dealing with a lot. And Lexus is king of taking advantage of that. Lexus is literally the king of taking advantage of seeing that you have a weak spot and, you know, getting a win, which he did, you know, in Lexus fashion, like cheating. That's just what he does, you know, it's just his thing. I don't think this is over. I'm just wanting to see where this goes, though. I guess I don't know. I really don't know. Who could come out on top at the end of this whole whatever this feud is right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. Guess we'll see. Yeah, I guess we will see. Hey. Yeah, I'm kind of. I just don't know what we were getting, like what was the purpose, but you know, we can't have it all, I guess. No, we do not. We are not inside and like that. That'd be cool, but we're not. You know, those not the vibes we're on. We're not inside in the cut to figure out what's going on. We have no idea. But hopefully we find out where he is soon. Let's go to the next, which was a women's match. Tatum Paxley versus Rosemary, who was accompanied by Wendy Chu. And so this, you know, was not terrible or anything. I felt like, you know, Rosemary kind of like did a lot in the beginning of this, I feel. And I don't think Tatum took her seriously at first necessarily. Rosemary did break the doll that Tatum left for Wendy during her entrance, which okay. And I was like, I mean, all right, whatever. I do think that they had moments that were decent. I don't know if something was missing or if they needed a little bit more time. I'm not really sure, but for what it wasn't bad. With that being said, though, Tatum would get this win, and I felt like maybe she realized she got to do what she got to do. Kind of, I guess, giving Tatum this hopefully kind of gets whatever momentum I felt like kind of got lost in the last few weeks. Get it back on track for her. But even with that being said, there was a situation, you know, because Wendy was there, and we saw the return of Lyra, who's been a little bit since we've seen her. So that was cool. And you know, they basically like cleared out the ring, etc. And then they kind of brought it in, hugged each other, and Lyra basically, I guess, forgave Tatum and said that they were better fighting together than against one another, which I guess we'll see that if, you know, they're going to put them as a team now. I guess we'll see. But I'm like, all right, I guess if this is what we're doing. Okay, cool. Thoughts?
I did like this match. I would say this was my second favorite match. I still am partial to say that the triple threat tag match was my favorite of the night so far, but this was the second best to me because the Lexus and Oro one was just like, what's going on? But why are you even here? Type of deal. But this, it had some things. Like, I feel like Tatum has a lot of like potential. Like, she goes for doing different types of moves. Like, and I love that. I love when someone just wants to kind of add in some zest. You know, no one's requesting it, but you're doing it, and I like that. You know, it was nice to see Rosemary. It was nice to see her get more, you know, offense this time around. I feel like, and just yeah, I just think it was a nice interaction. I enjoyed it. And I also just love the finisher. I'm wondering what she's naming it, because I know that it's called a tequila shot when Suzu uses it. I don't know what she calls it when she uses it, 'cause, they like to switch up the names. But it is a cool looking move. I'm not gonna lie. It is. And it's nice seeing Lyra, even though she's just like, yeah, even though we left, we're on the best terms, but girl, I think you're struggling. That's essentially what she said. Which I was like, okay, like I care to see your op struggling. But she was like, girl, hey. And I guess they're doing their thing. It was cool to see Lyra. I haven't seen her in a minute. Mr. I guess they're gonna be button heads. Is it next week? Did they confirm that it's going to be a tag match next week, or is that still up in the air?
I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah. Maybe they should say it for Halloween, because it's just a lot. It's a lot of freakiness.
Yeah, I guess we shall see. I'm sorry, I was just reading the comments. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what to do with that. I don't really know what to do with that comment. But all right, if you don't look at NXT, that's. I mean, okay. I don't know what to say to that. It's for you, sir. No, he's coming here with this negativity. Always until the end. Until the end. Oh, you saying which part? I'm getting back to that. I'm just saying that into the end, I'm gonna be hating. So you're gonna have to suck that up, like suck it up. As far as no, the Sasha Banks is pretty, so that's not the thing. I think it was weird just to say that NXT. I'm like, okay, it's like it's a weird thing to be on an NXT show. Then I don't know. That's a little bit weird to me, but do y'all do what y'all do? Do what y'all do? Yeah. There's in regards to the other partner, that's fine. She's pretty. So it's good stuff. But I was just really confused there. So it's like, how much wrestling did you watch? Listen, wrestling is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of wrestling all the time. So I don't know. But this weekend, I think the NXT stuff, honestly, for me. I think it was just the NXT stuff for more. I don't know as far as you Shay.
I watched a main because I had to watch this stuff with leather pants and Liv and Dom.
Yeah, I forgot that was also this. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I did not watch because I was a busy girl. But I did see highlights, and I saw that Rhea did pin me. Okay, and it's very sad. I have not healed from that yet. It's fine. Okay. Damien Priest. Yeah, if you don't know, find out. Yeah. If you don't, yeah, Leather Pants is Damien Priest. That is Shay's name for him. No more than Leather Pants. That's the level of respect she's given. That's it. Don't do it. Like, I would literally block you right now. You'd be blocked. Don't put that shenanigans on the show that I'm on. Okay, how dare you? It's never that. It's Rhea to the end. Okay, she tossed me up like, you got it, sis. Okay, those vibes I'm on. Well, that's why I said I was like, it is Damien Priest, because he didn't know, I guess. But yeah, that's just the level of disrespect and not even disrespect. That's just the level of respect that Shay has for Damian Priest that he doesn't get a name. It's just leather pants. It's just this is the item of clothing. That's leather. This will be going with it. That's those vibes. You know, gotta be the way it be sometimes. This leads us to our next matchup between Pete Dunne versus Trick Williams. And so this was actually pretty freaking solid. There was a moment where Ethan Page basically was like mocking Ava backstage, trying to keep order while this was, I guess, going on. But this, so because the brawling backstage just kept kind of happening, Ava basically said they need to go to the ring to finish it if it meant that the main event would start early. And so I guess that's what happened. This was definitely pretty solid because I felt like it was nothing but like a lot of hard hitting things. There was a moment where Pete Dunne like stomped on Trick's head into like the steel steps. And I was like, oh, all right. Yeah, this was actually, I don't know, I enjoyed it. I thought it was definitely a lot of like hard hitting situations. I thought Pete Dunne really kind of was like letting it all out there, which I thought was good. But Trick Williams wound up basically like, I feel like getting through all of that. But they basically kind of rolled outside the ring and they kept brawling, and then they both fell like off the barricades into the announce table, and then neither could like make it to 10. And so I was like, oh, all right, well, this is a pretty aggressive, you know. And then that was everything. So I felt like this was more of a, because it was like a double count out, this really wasn't a winner for this. It was mostly like a non-finish, if you want to say that. And so I'm like, okay, well, this is a lot, but I'm okay with this. And I know people like Katrina is whatever about him. I'm a Pete Dunne fan, and so I'm hoping that, you know, with the next set of things, this will go well. Ava did announce that next week we'll have Pete Dunne and Trick again, but this will be a last man standing match with this stipulation. And so I guess because it kind of got all crazy the way it did, you know, because it was that way, I guess we'll see how this will really play out next week. If it's going to be a situation where we're going to really see all kind of gloves off kind of thing, which but yeah, no, I'm not really a Trick person, to be fair, either, like that. Hey, Matthew, sorry, I didn't see that right away. But yeah, I guess we'll see how this is gonna happen, how it's gonna play out. But I think it's the last man standing means they're probably gonna let them just do whatever, which is fine with me. But well, it was briefly mentioned earlier about Jordan Grace, kind of open challenge thing. So, you know, we'll see. Jesus Christ. Okay. Right. But what are your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, no, this was okay. So then this became my favorite match of the night. So it was, because it was just good. Like, they really had good chemistry, honestly. I think that this whole feud has been really fun. I think it's been beneficial for Pete, and I think it's been beneficial for Trick, just to, you know, for him to wet his, what is it, wet your teeth, wet his tongue. I forgot what the saying is, but he needs more of that in the fields, you know, action to get more, you know, experience. Because I still am not fully sold on him in ring. You know, I don't think he's terrible, but he's still not my cup of tea in ring. And who better for him to, you know, get some more experience off of than Pete Dunne, who, you know, is one of the best wrestlers in the world. I will say that. I don't care. It's the truth. He's disgustingly underrated. And I'm glad that he's getting all this, you know, momentum lately. I really am, because he was in the trenches when they was calling him Butch. He was in the trenches, and I'm really glad that he is not in the trenches, because he is one of those people who does not deserve to ever be in the trenches, ever. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I didn't think that it would end tonight. I knew it had to be something, because this feud is way too hot for it to end on a regular NXT. It needs to be on maybe like a special edition NXT or a PLE. Like, that's where I feel like this needs to end, because it's gotten so fun. You know, the diss tracks and the craziness. Like, this has been fun to me. So I think it deserves to end on either a special event Tuesday or a PLE. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite match of the night.
Yeah, no, definitely was a very solid match too. Again, I'm not really a huge Trick Williams fan, so I guess we'll see. But I thought, again, it was really solid. I enjoyed it. Jesus. Yeah, I definitely think he's definitely one of my faves. I mean, he though he was in the trenches. I hated that, but then he was with Raggedy Ridge, and so that tells you all you need to know about the trenches with that Ridge Holland terrible stuff, terrible work. So our next matchup was Joe Coffey, who was accompanied by Gallus, versus Javon Evans, and so there was a segment backstage where basically no quarter catch crew told Gallus to kind of not to test their luck in a rematch with Javon. And this wasn't bad necessarily, and so it wasn't terrible. It like at first in like round one of this, I feel like Javon was really quick. I thought, there was like a moment where he did like I think it was like a handspring kick, and then he did like a top suicide and like to do a coffee into the announce table, and Wolfgang and Mark tried to kind of interfere, but Cedric Alexander would come out to basically keep things in check, in this, which was like, all right, cool, good shit. Basically to help him out, and so I was like, all right, Cedric, well, because you've been gone for a couple of weeks now, so I guess it works. Javon would do, I believe it was a corkscrew, a springboard corkscrew moonsault, to win, and I was like, okay. It was cool. It wasn't terrible. With this matchup, I thought it was good for what it was. And obviously, I feel like we might see this again at some point. I don't know when, but I do feel like that. And I guess it was cool to have Cedric kind of back him up in a way. I guess we'll see if this means Javon will get back into the title picture at some point. But as of right now, this was good to have a nice little win. Thoughts on this matchup?
Cedric is plotting on Javon, and it's so obvious, but we appreciate you for the help this time. I thought the match was pretty solid. I think Javon is really talented. Joe's always been solid in the ring. So, yeah, it was a solid match. I have nothing really negative to say about it. But, yeah, no, Cedric is definitely plotting on Javon. Like, I just don't believe you. I just don't believe you, Cedric. I'm so sorry. I just don't believe you whatsoever. Yeah.
Let me touch Jesus. Yeah. No, I guess we'll see. I mean, I guess we'll see about that too. So there's a couple of segments. One being where Javon and Ren Sinclair agreed to a Heritage Cup match next week, which Charlie didn't seem too happy about, which is understandable, because why is Sis deciding what matches you have? Like, you gotta let Ren know. You gotta let her, like, she's doing too much. Like she's doing too much. Sis, calm that down. Possibly. I mean, it could definitely have been that. I can see that. There was also a segment where Rich basically explained that Chase Yu was a group of losers that did what they always do when the lights are brightest, and that he was going to destroy Chase Yu. And I'm like, Rich, get real. And there was also a segment where Sean Spears thanked Brooks Jensen for standing up for him. But then Dion Lennox told Brooks that Sean Spears was gaslighting him. But yeah, as far as Rich, just go on my little ranty rant before I had the reins over to you. I'm sorry. When you were sad, oh, I should just retire wasting my time with that speech to stay on NXT. Trouble work. To sit here and tell me they were losers. They weren't losers when you were being in there. I'm sorry. They weren't losers when you sitting there having a good old time. When you sitting there in matches when you were winning. When you became champion, undeservingly so. You seem they weren't losers. Now they're losers because you were hot garbage. Terrible stuff. Personally, I'm gonna just need Duke to use his size and yoke him up. I don't know, Duke. You're a big guy. Yoke up Ridge by the collar. Put your arm to his throat. Whatever you gotta do. And it's fine. You just make all of us very happy. I'm like, my God, what do you mean? And this is my problem with Rich. It was just too many shenanigans. Yes, tomatoes for him. He deserved tomatoes. He needed his butt kicked. He needed to get tossed over the bridge. That's what Tony D'Angelo needed to use his services. You toss him over the bridge. I mean, listen, you cannot like. I can definitely understand, not liking Duke, and that's fine. And well, I didn't say I like him, but I do think he needs to yoke up Rich. I don't think Andre Chase is gonna do it. So and I feel like Riley's too confused. He knows what's going on sometimes. So it has to be Duke. Duke gotta take him and yoke him up. Gotta, take him by the collar and toss him to the side somewhere. I don't know. Those the vibes. But thoughts on those 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 segments. And
Ren is acting like an informant. Because why are you just like, you want the worst for Charlie? Like, I'm trying to figure out. Like, she cannot be this dense. She's doing this on purpose. I refuse to believe she is this dense to be doing this to Charlie. Like I just can't. It's getting annoying. It's getting annoying. Like, more annoying than whatever Thea be doing. And I'm going to get into Thea. Actually, I wanted to bring that up. Thea is 100%. I don't believe Thea. Now Thea is giving me sketch vibes. Because as I was talking to someone on Twitter, I stated, any other time do we now remember whenever anyone insults Chase U, is Thea not always the first trying to jump at the person? So is it not they have to hold her back physically? So where was all of this energy while Ridge was beating up all your Chase Uians? Yes, I'm calling them Chase Uians. She just stood there. She is working with Ridge. Listen, she's working with him in some capacity. She's going to be like, this is my long game because you threw the towel in, Andre. Because, yes, it's going to all come back to the stupid towel. It is. I just feel like she's being very sus. She's been very quiet. She hasn't said anything. And it's all very suspicious. It's all very suspicious, Thea. I'm watching you. I have not been wrong with anything I have said when it came to Chase U. I have not been wrong, and I want you guys to think about that. Ridge, you're literally insane. You're literally insane. You guys, he begged. You're the one that was like, Chase U, you guys were failing. You win, you lose, you win, you lose. So why were you begging to be with them? Why were you begging to be a part of it? That doesn't make any sense. Just say you're insane and you like to turn on people. Just say that. I would have more respect for you, Ridge, if you were just honest about the crazy person that you are and you just like chaos. And it was not nice. And I know your foot hurt for stepping on that trophy. What type of steel-toed boots do you have to have stood on that and your foot not hurt? That doesn't make any sense. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, this is the one time she need to be doing. You're right. He do got a big head, but sometimes you gotta be innovative. You gotta be innovative. He just gotta yoke him up. This is the one time Raggedy Tony need to do his job. Okay, do your job over the side. This is the time you want to be making threats. You make threats. Okay, but we'll see. And I kind of with you on that because she definitely was with JC. You already know how to feel about JC. And before you go, I'm gonna go to Ron. Ron knows what I feel in person about JC. Okay, vibes the same all the time. All the time. Just make sure that's clear. But yeah, we'll see. If that is the reason, you know what I'm gonna say to this. If you're mad about a trip, you better go find a therapist. It's not that deep. Not that deep at all. Oh, I didn't go on the trip. Boo-hoo, poor me. Now I'm gonna mess with the vibes, mess with the university. What are you, 5? Get real. Terrible stuff. Just get it together. Have a drink. I don't know, punch a wall. What do guys like to do? Punch walls? I don't know, punch a wall. Do something. And then move on. You'll be fine. Life is tough. Suck that shit up. Okay? It just crazy work. Crazy work. I'm gonna just need, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you gotta yoke up. You gotta take the. I haven't liked the essence of the shenanigans with Andre when she was mad about the towel. To be fair, so she just been on tonight. She's just getting real thin. So the next matchup is between Shannon Stacks Lorenzo versus Uba Femi. So Uba Femi found the family in the locker room and basically insulted Adriana Rizzo, and Tony was like, Stacks, you gotta handle this. And Paul's right. Because first of all, this is talking about Tony. You want to throw people over sides and stuff, but now you're telling your lackey to handle things. Personally, I'd be like, nah, I'm not doing it. What do you think this is? You're my mama. You're my parent. No. Do I get paid extra for nonsense? No. Then we're not doing all that. Those are the vibes. Listen, I can be my 5'2" self as I am. I'm gonna talk my shit. That's what I do. Okay? It wouldn't be me if I didn't talk shit. These are the vibes. We're on. And so on the way to the ring, Obafemi did do this like little transition thing where he kind of like stomped on the camera lens, which kind of went to a commercial. And I was like, okay, I like the vibes. Like this isn't bad. And so Dax tried. He tried really hard. He tried. But he tried to do like a dive on Oba, and then he tweaked his ankle a little bit and like, see, look, you're doing too much. And then basically he got tossed into the corner and then threw him across the ring, which personally, that's exactly what I would have done. Like, you wasted my time. Toss. Okay? Toss. What I want Rhea to do to me. Toss. Toss to the side. Those are the vibes. Okay? And so Stacks tried his best. But Obafemi is Obafemi. He did a pop-up powerbomb. One, basically just poor Stacks. It was tough. I do think that it was a good, like, for what it was good, and it wasn't much story to it. But I thought this was like, the fact that Stacks even let Tony convince him of this is pure nonsense because not me. First of all, if you my homie, you basically told me you wanted me to get beat up. Is what you said. What you said was, I couldn't beat him, but here you are, my lackey. Let you also get beat up, so we beaten up together. We can now wallow in losses, taking L's together. That's crazy work. Personally, I would have to leave the family. I would have to remove myself and be family-less. Okay? Like, I don't know. And yes, it's very possible that when he does lose it, it will be on his way out the door, or it's gonna have to be somebody's gonna really put him on his ass. And we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I was like, personally, I would be offended out of sex because how dare you put me in a situation that you couldn't win. It's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. You got beat up 2 days ago, and then you want me to get beat up too? It's gonna be me. She surely didn't. He tried. But I felt like this was an event she should have realized when he went to the ring. Like, I have to sit this out. I have to take that little disrespect to the chin. Just gotta take the chin. Just gotta take the disrespect and move on. That's what you have to do. Because clearly, what was Stacks doing? The losing, as we saw. But thoughts on this match?
Oba, women can speak whenever they want. I just want you to know that because I was very disrespectful. I've been over here being very nice about you, so don't be saying crazy stuff like that. We don't like that. It is, Joseph, I'm not gonna lie, it is giving that Tony is a little bit scared because how are you gonna be like, oh, you don't talk about women like that? You know what? I'm gonna have my mans fight you. What? How do we get there? And then, mind you, Luca Crucifino was actually about to step up, and he got cut off by Tony, who was like, "Nah, I want Stacks to do it." I want to know what that's about, and that's going to be a reason why Stacks is going to start acting very different towards Tony. Mark my words, because why would you do that to him? You couldn't pay me to fight Oba. You really couldn't. You really could not. Rizzo, I am so sorry because you just out here just like, girl, you better make friends with Gunther or something. I don't know what to tell you, but you need better friends because they is not riding out for you because they should have jumped him at the end of the match. Actually, they should have jumped him. Did anybody jump him? No, he left. He left the building unjumped. Disrespect. You should have left the family right then and there, girl. You should have left. Because why did he leave the building unjumped? They've jumped people for less, thrown people in cars for less, thrown people over bridges for less. They couldn't jump him, throw him over a bridge for you after what he said. Think about that, girl. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like I said, it could have been me, just personally. If I was Lorenzo, I'd be like, you know what, my guy, you're not my homie. Because like, let me put in a situation. It's like you're the small one of the group. Here you go, little guy. Here you go. Pew pew. And now look. Poor Stacks. Terrible stuff. Terrible stuff. Terrible. I would have to leave family. You know, I'm gonna make a smart ass comment about Chicago, but I won't. I was about to. It was gonna happen. It was not bad. Hope yours as well. But yeah, personally, it could be me. I would have to. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Sometimes you gotta knock people down in ways. Like you gotta catch him when he's sleeping or something. I don't know. Just be there in the bushes waiting. I don't know. You gotta catch him when he's lacking. You gotta catch him when he's lacking. That's how you do it. Sorry, my cat's now next to me, so I'm just. If something goes down, guys, I'll tell you why. Listen, I peeped, but I don't want to say things, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, Katrina, when I actually say it, I would just be reading a comment. But I did say, I don't know, it's kind of crazy to say, but do you? I guess. This leads us to this leads us to our women's action. With Jasmine Nix, he was with Fatal Influence versus Miss Jada Parker. And so Fatal Influence basically mocked Jada backstage, which basically pushed her to challenge Jasmine for a match. She did walk into this with her ribs taped up, which I guess makes sense considering what happened on Sunday. There was some moments. Jada did like a teardrop, but didn't really. I guess she moved a little too slow and kind of almost got rolled up. So I'm like, girl, let's get this together. Jada fought through the injuries, which I was like, I like the storytelling in regards that she's still hurt. But Jada would do her hypnotic to win this matchup. However, it was a very short-lived celebration because Peter Influence basically would beat up Jada afterward because they suck. And this is what you're gonna do. Apparently, when you guys are trash, you're gonna jump people. I guess this is what clearly Tony should have done. But here we are. And so I thought she sold her injuries well. It wasn't bad. I do think Jasmine needs work personally because I felt like she didn't have too much offense, like she should have, in my opinion. But thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, it was all right. I feel like Jasmine is still learning a lot. That shows, and I think Jada is definitely. I feel like we all believe that her match that she had with Roxanne, that was definitely her come to the party moment for sure, and that was her best performance. So we've seen the potential. We know what she could bring to the table. You can only do so much with someone who's still very green in ring. Like, not to say that Jada has like gone to this stratosphere and she's like amazing, but she's shown a lot of progress compared to Jasmine. And so I think the match was, it wasn't terrible. It just felt kind of like, I don't know. I don't really have a thing. I can't find the words. But yeah, Jasmine has potential. I just need to see it first. Think she's stunning, obviously stunning girl, great energy, great with all that stuff. But I just need to see the in-ring. Fatal Influence, I'm so sorry. The entrance music, it's giving Dead by Daylight. Like, it's literally the lobby music. Like, I need something else because it's not working for me. I don't know. Like, I just don't know right now with that music. And even the entrance, it feels like I just feel like they need to get to it. It's still early. That's what I think. It's still early, so they're figuring out what works, the camera angles, all that stuff. They're still figuring out. So I'm giving them a chance because I do like all of them. I think they're all really talented. Well, I think Jasmine's still getting up to that point, but she definitely has all the potential. And Jada's awesome, and she sold her ribs really well. She looked great. Does this mean this is the end of OTM? Because she's clearly turning face. And OTM, I don't know. I'm not out the mud. I guess we'll see.
Turbo work is a good saying, to be fair. Well, maybe if she works hard, we have talked to like tough children. With some hard work and dedication, and comes great things. That's kind of the vibes are going. Tapele is fine, but that you know how I feel, but you can't just have one move and then tell them what you great. Just can't be having those vibes. So I'm saying. And I'm with you on the song. I'm just terrible stuff. As far as you know what, I respect the dedication because I am definitely that way with some people. Dead by Daylight is a fantastic game. You just need the right squad. That's all it is. You need a squad to do what they got to do. With that's it. It's a squad. You need a squad. But I don't like the song. I don't like the song either, so I definitely understand. There was a few segments. One being where Asante the Adonis tried to comfort Brinley Reese, but she said she was not interested, and Eddie had to tell him to back off. There was also a segment with Fatal Influence going backstage to tell Kalani Jordan that her days as champion is numbered, which I'm gonna be like, first of all, I'm sorry, did I not lose because I'm petty? my days are numbered, and who was taking that 1, 2, 3? Oh, it wasn't me. That's what I would say. But this is why, I'm not in the NXT, because I am petty. I'm just like, what are we seeing in the columns? Oh, that's right, L's. A lot of L's right now. That's what we're seeing in the columns. And yes, apparently he's just a creep. Yeah, I don't know. He's just doing shenanigans. Once he said he let people read it, and that's why I knew where he stood. You don't want to be educated, my guy, and that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. But thoughts on that segment? I will always be petty. Okay, if you're learned nothing, Katrina's petty to the end. To the end.
And that's your God-given right as an American.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be old and petty. But continue.
So I just want this to be the first and last time that they use the word aura that much in a backstage segment. In any segment, actually. I don't want to hear that word again. I feel like Twitter has ran that word into the ground. We need to keep the word aura down to a minimum. Don't say it no more. No mas. And I realized I didn't speak about the Brooks Jensen and Sean Spears interaction. I think Sean Spears is a good man. He's looking out for Brooks, which is more than anybody else has done for him. And I think that Dion needs to mind his business and worry about reading some damn books. Don't worry about anything going on with Brooks Jensen because Sean Spears has it. What's that?
You do some. Well, clearly, I don't know, his things might be limited considering he don't like to read and whatnot, And yes, it's terrible work. Terrible work. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy stuff. And yes, I'm with you. I actually hate that people keep using that word aura, considering what it means, and then like people keep changing fucking meanings for slang. Piss me off. Stop it. Stop it, you ingrates. Stop it. Okay? I'm tired of this nonsense. It's just as ridiculous as Riz. Use words. Riz. No. No. It's charisma, you creeps. That's what it is. Stop using these dumb, ridiculous words. Okay? I'm tired of this little raggedy slang. I'm tired. Stop it. Or it's right there. Okay? Stop saying nonsense. Everything about aura. What aura? The aura is, you clearly saw the audience was upset. So clearly you didn't see the aura. You didn't feel the vibes. Clearly. No. Riz is not easier. Okay? What are you guys? Elementary school kids? No. If you can't say charisma, which is 3 syllables, I'm about to ask yourself why that is. It's crazy work. Crazy work. Crazy work. 3 syllables. Okay? Charisma. 3. 3 should not be complicated for y'all. Stop making excuses for shenanigans. I'm over it. Stop it. Yes, word. Okay, should I smoke signal out what I just said? Sign language it up? I don't know. Google Translate? I said what I said. Crazy stuff. Tired of these words, I just be using everything. If that's what you want to call Riz is telling me people can't spell. That's all I'm getting from that. They want to make up Riz and aura. I don't know. How about learn how to use your and your, and then come back with a word. When we get that part together, then come back and be like, make up some words. Make up regular words. Actual words that yeah, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. Yes, all of it. Hate it all. It's nonsense. It's pure shenanigans. Okay. Not the car. Charisma, my guy. Charisma. Not car. Charisma. Okay, it's fine. I don't know. Are you the spelling bee champion? Talking nonsense? I don't know. Do shenanigans here today, I see. But anyway, we now go to our final segment, which is Miss Roxanne basically comes out and says she is gonna break Io Sky and Asuka's NXT Women's Championship record. which I appreciate the confidence there. Lights went out, and then Chelsea Green comes to basically mock Roxanne about this. The lights go out again, and then Giulia arrives and basically takes out Chelsea with a knee strike in the forearm. And she basically said that she's getting the next title match on the NXT debut on the CW, which nobody was surprised there. I thought there was a good segment overall. They did show the NXT Women's Locker Room watching this segment, which I'm not really sure why, because personally, if I was in the NXT Women's Locker Room and I just watched somebody come in 2 days ago talking about what they got, I wouldn't be looking real happy. Just, the crowd seemed hyped about Giulia. They was chanting her, like a chant. And even with the fans seemed happy with Chelsea Green too, which I guess was thrown up because she was kind of talking shit about them. But I do like that there was less smoke than it was at No Mercy, because it was a lot happening. And I'm like, all right, sis, let's lower the smoke. But I thought this was a good little thing for her to basically have the match we all thought she was going to have with Roxanne, and so we all know this is happening. We all figured it was going to come up, but I thought it was a good way to end. It was a good way to end NXT, and I'm excited to see where this goes. Thoughts on this segment?
Roxanne continues to get more and more comfortable on the mic, and just like her presence is just top tier. Like, I love her. And again, I think me and you, we said it, like, even from last year, we were so happy to see her get a second opportunity with the NXT Women's title, just because we felt like she got slighted in her first reign. And they have 100% made up for that debacle of that last reign, because this has been such a good run for Roxanne. Like, hats off. And this girl is still so young, and just like, she's only in the, it's just insane to me. Like, she's insane to me. She doesn't even seem like real. Like, honestly, she doesn't. It was cool to see Chelsea. I think her outfit was so cute. Like, I was literally gagging. I was like, oh my God, the fit, everything, I'm living. The mildew BO joke, we love it, because you know what? That crowd was getting on my nerves tonight. They were chanting a lot of crazy things. Why were you chanting at the ref that he sucks when he was doing his job? Maybe you should be chanting at the wrestlers for not getting in the ring before the 10 count. Why does he suck for doing his job? I don't understand it. This crowd chants a lot of crazy things, like telling wrestlers to put the clothes on. I don't know. It's crazy to me. It's rude. But back to Giulia. She comes out stunning, the hair. I love the hair. Like, it's cute. The color, like, she just, yes, girl. I was a little shocked about her, getting a match so soon. Like, I really thought that they would kind of like keep her from it, right away. But, and because it's so soon. But I mean, it is what it is. She is a big get, and it makes sense, but it's also kind of like, I did see Cora Jade post a picture that she was in the audience tonight. I think that'd be a great first feud for Giulia to kind of keep her from right away getting to that title. I'm just saying, it's something I saw and just feel like maybe, because I just think it's so early for her to get the title, because it just kind of like, it just puts you in a weird position. I would like to see it take some time. She's going to be there for a while. Might as well just not rush. I'm assuming she'll probably have a match next week, and it'll probably be against Chelsea, because Chelsea is not going to let it go. She is yelling at Ava, Adam Pearce, and Nick Aldis all at the same time right now on a 4-way call as we speak to get a match with Giulia after getting dropped. But that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I did say I was hoping that she didn't get a match right away, just because it's just personally, I'm always iffy about that kind of thing. But we all kind of also expected that she probably would, and that's what they were waiting for. to finish her obligations before making it official. Frown. But we'll see how it goes. I do think Roxanne definitely, as you said, I love this reign. I was a fan of her before NXT. I truly was, and I was so happy when she got to NXT. I was so happy and I feel like this time heel Roxanne has been doing her thing, and I would love for her to at least make Asuka's run. I would truly. And if you want her to lose, that's fine. But I would actually be perfectly fine with that. I think after that nonsense they pulled when she had to do all that to get title back in the first place, I feel like that's the least they can give my girl is that. Because that nonsense, I never understood that. Oh, you feel like you're mentally stressed. Let me take the title from you, and then let's put you in another title thing that you're gonna lose. It was pure shenanigans. That is one time, Michael, Sean, that I don't know. I understand that wasn't chefing it up. He was burning. He was burning stuff in the chef in the kitchen. That I wasn't happy. But yeah. Listen, I love Asuka to be fair, but I would be perfectly fine if it's somebody like Roxanne. If this was like a Mandy Rose, then I'd be like, all right, guys, that's why I have to draw the line. Absolutely not. Okay, and I said people say, let Mandy beat Asuka. Mandy, get real. Okay, if Mandy can beat her, or people wanted her to get beaten by Mandy's, which was crazy stuff to say. I'm okay with Roxanne because at least Roxanne knows what she's doing. That's all I'm saying. But I know some of them are like, oh my god, it's mean. But if y'all knew anything about Katrina, I've said what I said about Mandy this entire time. Yeah, but this is yours then. This is yours then. Me and Mandy, you're pretty. That's where it is. And I'll give her that. She got better. But she still, no. But we have... I'm just saying, I don't think she should have been as long as she was. I'm just saying. I even said when she won, I was like, what is this? I was like, what is this? She beat too many people who was good. And I was like, see, now you're playing games. You're playing games. Blondes, they just don't know how to act. In WWE, blondes don't know how to act. Look, we got Cody. That's all you should know, how people know how to act. Clearly, they don't understand how it works with blondes. They're like, oh, let's just, no, none of that. But here we are. We have reached the end of today's NXT, again on the countdown to the CW debut. Thank you guys for watching, and I will always do shenanigans. That's what I do. Someone did. Wasn't me, but someone. I'm just saying, somebody, Charlotte is fine, but also her dad. And last I checked, he was also blonde. Boo. Now, back it up. We have reached the end about NXT, and I like Charlotte. She's cool. Thank you guys for watching and commenting and the shenanigans. I've been peeping inside because I've been seeing, I've been watching. But Shay, tell everybody where they can find and follow you, and you know what's happening on your end.
You can find a new episode of the Big Pop Theory podcast that just dropped yesterday. It's on all the platforms where you can listen to podcasts. I will not list. It is so many things. You can catch me on Shay Sawyer _ on Twitter. You can catch me on Shay Sawyer _ I don't have that. That sounds crazy. You can also find me on Twitch under Shay Sawyer, and you can catch me tomorrow for the Challenging Times after show with Mike Knox and Cactus Katie as we go over the challenge, and that is on Unpopular Review YouTube. And you can catch me in the sky flying. I'm kidding, I'm not there. But what if I was though? Where can we find you, Kat?
Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm gonna now have to get to this. First of all, how dare you? I'm trying to get off on positivity, and how dare you? And you know what he did? Oh, that's right. He won. He won. That's what he was doing on Raw. Winning. That's what he was doing. That is a blonde I could accept. Okay, Jeff Hardy was blonde. I accept him. He was blonde. That's my guy right there. To the end. With these raggedies, these other random blondes, this today's blondes. Ugh. I would never turn down my turtleneck king. Okay, how dare y'all? So that's where you can find me. I am on most social media at Got Me Trust. He is every place but Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Just again, keep track of my YouTube channel. That's where all my stuff. He had Rainbow here afterward. Don't do it, okay? Jeff Hardy is Bay to the end, okay? I love you, Jeff. I was in the trenches with Jeff. I was writing email addresses with a Hardy last name because I was that child. That was me, okay? I wrote fan fiction in the trenches about Jeff. He had blonde hair first, okay? And then he had the blonde and red, and then everything else. Don't do this, okay? This is not who you would argue about Jeff Hardy, okay? Get together. Okay, anyway, y'all can keep track of my YouTube channel for anything new that's happening on my end. If you are in the, I don't know what that means, but okay. You guys, if you are in the New York area, I'm September 13th, I believe that is. I will be doing some backstage correspondence at We Are Wrestling. Should be a time. Catch me there. Otherwise, you will see me online. Maybe see me. That's what it is. Until next time, we will catch you guys on the flip